I'm gonna give you a pep talk before we start.
Okay.
You got this.
Oh, thank you.
Just look in the mirror, look in the lens actually, and just say, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. Try.
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me.
Yay! Okay, ready to do this?
I'm ready to do this.
Yay. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk a little bit about one of Tony's favorite hobbies. I don't know if you guys know this, but Tony used to actually be like the head of World of Warcraft. So he was literally the, was it like the head dungeoness or dungeon master of a guild of what, hundreds, thousands?
No, nothing like that. Nothing close to that. I used to be a guild officer, and I oversaw 15 people.
Oh.
So yeah, my main responsibilities were making sure that nobody talked over one another while we were raiding, so that you could take down the bosses effectively and efficiently. And about the only power that I had was that I could kick somebody if they were misbehaving. But other than that,
that's still very impressive. And how much did this position pay?
This position paid nothing but time. So,
how much time did you spend on it? Like an hour a day?
In retrospect, I wish I spent an hour a day, but it was closer to like 10. So you really struck gold with me, hon.
I remember when we first met, and we were just like still in the communication phase where we're just like writing to each other and everything. And you were saying that you were putting in so many hours with your gaming, and you told me about like your rankings and positions, and I just remember being so intimidated by that, because I was like, how am I going to relate to and date a guy who is so up in the chain of command, and I don't even know how to address him or talk to him. And I think I found out much later that it was not a paid position and that you were just gaming. I feel like you don't really get a chance though to game as much as you used to.
I don't now, and that's honestly fine, because I kind of have reshifted the focus those 10 hours to, having a job and raising kids and being married and all that. So, which, I gladly do. But, the little bit that I do get to, I just love to game with the kids. I like to spend that time with the kids.
That is true. Even though you're not doing a lot of solo gaming, you're occasionally still gaming with them.
Yes.
So our two older kids, Nathan and Noel, are 15 and 12, and he does do a lot of gaming with them. And I can see that the older they get, it's like evolved.
It has evolved.
To where it used to be like Minecraft, and then it evolved into, what's the game that y'all have been playing lately?
Borderlands is an older game, but it's still one of my favorites. And I like that that they're old enough now to enjoy it. They've also actually have gotten into wanting to create their own games, which is really cool.
I know Noelle came up to me recently and was saying that she wanted to create a video game with you, and then it looked like Nathan jumped on board too.
Yes, Nathan, what Sis wants, Nathan wants. So.
I don't think you wanted to be left out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you guys are in just like research mode right now with how to do it?
We're just trying to get as many ideas down on paper, and I told her, like the computer part's the easy part. It's getting all your ideas out.
Wow.
That's the challenge and the fun part.
Well, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with, because I think it's going to be really cool.
It's going to be really cool.
Yeah. So do you want to hop on over to the computer and show them kind of like how you game? Like what, accessibility wise? Because you've had to kind of adapt that over the years, right?
Yeah, okay. So like I have gone from gaming normally to kind of having to, as my muscular dystrophy has progressed, found ways to make it still work for me, and so that I can still be leader of 10,000 guilds and all that.
Yeah, we wouldn't want you to lose rank.
I know, exactly. So. I would take a pay cut. But yeah. So we'll pop on over and I'll show you how I game now. All right. So one of my favorite games that I like to play right now is kind of playing off of the whole World of Warcraft game. Is kind of like a Blizzard guy, so I have started playing Diablo 3, and I'm just going to get into that game real quick. All right, so I'm just going to hop into the game right here, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've changed for my controls. Now, what's nice about Diablo from like the very first game is that you can just point your mouse to where you want your character to go. So, and if you want them to run in a certain position, you just hold down your left mouse key, so they're controlled that way. And then you see at the bottom, you've got all these like spells and all that you can use. Now, what I've had to do to make this easier for me to play is that I've gotten into customizing my controls. And if you'll notice, I've got my primary spells on the left and right mouse buttons. And that's, you know, I can still work a mouse pretty good, but you have all these additional attacks that you can do. And those are right here on my keyboard, numbers 1 through 4. But I've also assigned them to the A and the Z button. And I'll show you why, because you can, let's see here, while you're fighting somebody, which I'm not fighting anybody right now, but you can hold the shift button down. And how I do that is with my thumb. I'll keep that down, and that allows me to target an enemy. And my Z button is my number 1 button as well, and my A button is my number 2. And I use those a lot. So what I'll do is that I'll just kind of hold down the shift, and then I'll rock, you know, whenever I want to hit the Z, and then pivot if I want to hit the A. And that way I'm not having to lift my thumb off the shift key to press these and take me out of the action. This kind of, you know, keeps me in there and taking down the bad guys. All right, just raising my undead army. And I sound so cool when I talk about all this, don't I?
Oh yeah, it's very impressive.
Okay, so I'm just gonna walk around here and find some bad guys. And they should be coming up, and there we go. There's a nice little mob.
I think it's cool how your guy isn't in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
you made him able-bodied.
I made him able-bodied. I skipped that in the character creation. I don't want to come off as like a real-life hero, so that's why, you know, I decided to be able-bodied in the video game. If you'll notice, I'm holding down the shift key, and that keeps me standing still, and I can dish out the attacks without moving around.
That's a lot of attacks.
That is a lot of attacks. Like I said, I bring the pain.
I thought your character was normally a girl. Is that a different game?
No, this is, well, she's a girl.
Oh, she is a girl. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
You always pick girls for your characters.
Well, I'm equal opportunity, so.
Aw, nice job, babe.
So if you notice, I pivot my keyboard so that it makes it easier for me to do this little motion right here.
Okay.
With my thumb. Because if not, then I'm kind of like off
here.
Your
hand's cocked.
Exactly. So
okay, so you keep it at an
like
angle.
This, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna let them see that.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll just go around. You'll notice that it's just, you know, I'll pivot, and that's it, really. I'll just go through and roll through the bad guys.
I feel like you used to use some kind of pad and pen. What was that game for?
Yes, that, believe it or not, here, I'm going to press pause here.
Okay.
This was my mouse pad for years and years and years.
That's what I remember, like when you lived in your apartment.
Yeah.
And the kids would go over and visit you. Y'all would game on that.
Oh yeah, I would game on this, and this basically took place of the mouse. I actually had my left mouse click, or my left mouse and my right mouse mapped to these two little buttons right here. And yeah, and I mean, you know, I was using Photoshop a lot, and you know, I could draw and paint with the pen and had all these hotkeys assigned. But I played World of Warcraft from this for years and years and years.
So did you have to program it for the game, or it just was already ready?
I had a programmer for the game. That's why, you know, I like playing Diablo, because it kind of gives me that World of Warcraft vibe. But, you know, like I said, I can't really pull back my fingers anymore to control my character, so I've kind of like let World of Warcraft go, which is sad, but it's all good.
You know, we've learned on this journey that there's a lot of letting go. So I've gotten to watch you do that, and I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, hon. Yeah, it's like a long series of goodbyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is interesting how you've, managed to operate this whole game off of a keyboard.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, all my friends found it really, really surprising that I would play as well as I played off of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tiny little, surprising.
Graphics tablet and a pen. But I made it work.
You did.
So, all right. So this is me playing the Xbox 360, and this is Borderlands that I'm playing right now with Nathan. You can see that it's a first-person shooter, but what makes it really cool is that it's a first-person, like a shooting RPG. So, I'm just sitting here walking around, and I'll find some bad guys. And I still have good function over, or with my hands over the controllers. And if you notice, I've actually got my hands, I use like my legs to kind of sandwich my hands in. And that gives me a really good grip on the control because, I go crazy sometimes and these controls go flying. But, no, not really.
I thought you were just having a mad rage.
No. I don't get gamer rage. But I still, have like good control over pushing down, maneuvering, pressing the buttons, and all that. The trigger fingers can be tricky at times, especially these bumpers up here. You've got triggers and then you got these bumpers right there. But I have kind of gotten my fingers at a certain spot where I just pivot, or I just pivot and access them whenever I need to. Okay. So that is all well and done. And as an aside, Microsoft. Now I don't need them yet. I hope I don't don't see that day. But Microsoft is probably one of the best companies that has accessible controllers. And I think Logitech too, and they're another company that has just gotten in the game of accessible controllers.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Where y'all at? Where y'all hiding? There we go.
I want to try this one because I like shooter games.
This is the one that I think you would love because, indeed,
I'll get in the zone.
That's right. And
then I'll just start killing everybody.
Because you were a marksman in the Air Force.
Which is funny because I would never hurt anybody. I would be terrified if I had to actually go to war. But just to shoot a target or a video game, I would love that. You're doing a good job, babe.
I thank you. And I think this is the last guy. But yeah, that is Borderlands right there. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming along with us today and watching me, play my video games. I hope you got a couple of tips out of there. And anybody who's curious about gaming, and if you've got a disability, and if that's the one thing that's keeping you from trying it, or maybe it's something that you did in the past and you think that you can't do it anymore, there are ways to keep gaming and having fun. I mean, if this is an outlet for you, I still have a blast doing it. I found ways to keep doing it. And found other ways to make it more fun because of who I play with with the kids and everything and all that. But
you should start a game where our viewers can play with you.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. If any of you guys do, what is it called? Multi-level marketing?
What's it
called when you play with more than one person? Massively
multiplayer online. You almost made me forget. But if y'all have gamer handles in there, feel free to and you want to share them, feel free to leave them in the comments.
As always, thank you so much for watching. We love being with you guys, and we hope you enjoyed being with us too. And I hope you'll subscribe so we can see you on the next video. So remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and stay strong. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.